Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet. We are going to be casting a 4v4 game here. So another 4v4 going on. We expect it to be absolutely fantastic. We do have a diamond and a gold player, and then a bunch of silvers, bronzes, and all that other fun stuff. Ted Style, I believe, is going to be our diamond level player in here, so we're expecting very good things from him. He's going to be in Team 1, up the top left, and on his team is going to be the blue Protoss player. Oh, Poker Dude. His name is Poker Dude. And the bottom left, I think this is on their team as well. We're going to have the purple Protoss player, Spartriarch. And we also have the teal player, Coma Toast, who I believe was the gung-ho person who said we should attack first. But how do you attack first? I mean, you never know when the enemy is going to attack. So you might try and attack first and end up attacking second anyway. So, unless we're all going to try and roach rush or, speed rush or something like that. But anyway, here we are on Team 2 on the right hand side of the map. We do have a yellow Protoss player, Gwill, from the Charm... Oh God, I forgot the freaking word. It's not Grit with Clan, the clan of We Are. So that's a very interesting clan name. We also have the orange Terran player, and his name is Somal. His name is MD Somal. That's pretty sweet. We've also got a pink Terran player. A lot of these guys are from the N-Gun 5 clan, and his name is Entropy. And I believe entropy means to basically sit there and not do anything. So let's hope that his name does not reflect his game plan. And finally, we do have our green Protoss player, Warpig, who has the most impressive name so far, I think. These guys, not really... it's not really exciting me too much. Coma Toast, he's got a fairly good name. Entropy's got a very interesting name, but so far, I reckon Warpig has got the most hardcore name. He's got the name that says, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to beat you to death with your own skull. If that is even possible, I'm sure he would give it a bash. But there we go. So it looks like these guys are trying to sort out strategy. And yeah, looks like they're doing something. And what they're doing is going for gateways and going for cybernetics cores and going for... what's this Zerg player going for? He's going for a macro hatch as well as a spawning pool. He could probably be, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'll give him a chance. He's getting another hatchery down now, so that's pretty sweet. What do we have going on here? Not a lot. Do we have any crazy early tech going on? This guy's got a barracks, cybernetics core, lag. My computer's got the lag. Orbital command, so that's always a good thing. What do we got here? Barracks with a tech lab. Another barracks, gateway. Nothing really interesting at the 4-minute mark. We don't have any Reaper harass. We don't have any really fast lings going on. And yeah, we don't have any crazy early zealot rushes or anything like that. I'd love to see one player go for a fast DT tech. But of course, that's a fairly cheesy tactic, and if it doesn't work, then you're pretty much, well, not pretty much screwed, but you have to rely on your allies for quite a while. This player, man, Coma Toast, he's looking very ballsy at the moment. He's got 3 gateways up. He's got a fair amount of workers. What are we doing on the income tab? Yeah, look at that, 24, man. This guy, I like this guy. I reckon he is going to be a fairly large force in this game. He's going to be the guy with the biggest army, going out there, hitting people, doing lots of damage. So he's definitely going to be on top of it. And actually, we'll have a look at the income. Who's the big player on the other team? It is Warpig, of course. Warpig, man. He hasn't got as many gateways, but he's getting up a fast robo and a second gateway. He's got both gas going already. I would not be surprised to see him going for an expansion fairly soon. And I would not be surprised to see him as the primary player on team number 2 over on the right hand side. Who's the other guy with a lot of workers? These guys are actually getting a lot of workers up. They're actually doing some stuff here. What has he got? This guy's got nothing for tech though, man. He's just got lings. He needs to get a roach warren or something out. Really, I mean, 6 minutes into the game, man, and you haven't got an army yet? I mean, seriously, man, he's just slacking off all over the place, and I would be very disappointed in him if he was on my team. And there we go, we've got a couple of stalkers, just doing a scout around, checking for pylons and all that sort of stuff. Very smart player, Mr. Blue Poker Dude. He is very smart, and he is very switched on, and it's another player we're going to expect a lot of good things from him. Let's go ahead and let's start trying to figure out who is going to be the useless player in this game. Alright, everybody's above 20 workers. All I've got to go on now is worker count. This player, what has he got? He's got a factory, he's got 2 barracks. Okay, so he's not going to be, he's not as good as the other players, but he's not useless. He's definitely not useless. This player's got 3 barracks up, 4 barracks, sorry. No higher tech, but he's getting out a fairly decent army. So right now, we don't have any useless players in the game. We do have this player, he's just spewing workers all over the place, but his army is pretty much non-existent as far as the units go. So he is not useless, but we can potentially give him the award of most militarily useless player. So we're going to have a couple of awards out here. We're not going to give them out yet, but we are going to start giving them out at the end of the game. Now our first award is the most useless player, and the second award is the most militaristically useless player. So the player who has the best economy but doesn't actually get any attacking units. And right now the red player is definitely in a very strong position to go for that award for the most militaristically useless player. But we'll see exactly how he goes. He's going to go for infestors, and if he gets out a ton of them, then he may not get that award after all. But here we go. These guys doing a very good job. It looks like Team 2 is really going to push in. All 4 players have got a half decent army. This guy, they've got a fairly decent army. The red player, of course, has no army at all, and he is getting a 3rd base. So he's back on track to getting that award, and really, he's just one of those guys, and I think he's really got a chance here to go in there to just completely take that award by storm. But we're going to see what goes on here. These guys are just going to run in. The siege tanks are up, and wow, these forces, man, if we have a look at the army tab, Team 2, man, they're very, very good at the moment, so they're just whittling down these players. The red Zerg has actually got the most, but I think they're all just workers, man. He is, well, not all workers, but I don't know what the hell else he is. He has swarm hosts. Oh god, I hate having a cough. Right, so he's got a crap load of swarm hosts coming out. I'm not sure what they can do. They're going to be fairly good defensively, but if these players go down south, if they start taking these guys out, then that is it. I'm going to be handing that award to the red player on a silver platter, because so far he is militarily the most useless player. I'm just going to say army useless, because military is a hard word to say. So he is going to get the award for the most army useless player in the entire game. And there we go. These 2 players are getting wiped out. You've got a whole mix of the Team 2 units down here. They're going all over the place. These guys continuing to produce more units, to get their tech up, to get more bases. None of them have got an expansion yet, but they had a nice game plan to go in there at around the 9-10 minute mark, to go in there with all the forces they had off one base and just wipe stuff out. And I gotta say, good on them. This is how you win games. There's probably something from the Gun 5 team that they've worked out, and a very good player, the yellow player over here. He's not in the same clan, but he went along for the ride. He did a good job, and he is going to go in there and help him out. And I got to say, good stuff to this team. They've just wiped out 2 players. They've just completely done a magnificent job, and it's going to be 2 versus 4 in a matter of minutes. And I really, really would like to see what goes on here, because 99% chance these last 2 players are just going to get wiped out. They won't have the base control. They won't have anything going on. I mean, it's 2 versus 4. They're just going to get wiped out. The swarm host will slow them down a lot. But I mean, you've got, how many? You've got 1, 2 Terran players. So that means drops left, right, and center. That means siege tanks. And that means that swarm hosts are not going to be as effective as you might think. So there we go. We've got this blue Protoss player. I said back at the start of the game he was going to be pretty good, and he is. He's got a fairly nice Stalker army. Bit out of position here, but they managed to get 1 siege tank, so he's doing his bit. This guy's getting some swarm hosts done, but the orange player stimming in, going to take out a few of them. He's trying to defend them. He's trying to defend the swarm hosts. He knows that swarm hosts are going to be the thing that keeps them in this base. But here we go, the green player coming in, taking this hatchery from the other side, and there's just 2 versus 4. Not only are you facing a larger army, but you're facing 4 people who are all controlling separate armies. So it's just, I mean, flanks aren't hard to do anymore. They're extremely easy. It's easy to flank around. And look at this, he's going for a Warp Prism. This is actually the green player as well, man. This is Warpig. Warpig, the green player, man. He's doing all sorts of good stuff. He's got to wipe in some Zealots, warp in some Zealots. Do they have speed? No, they don't have speed, but they are still going to do the damage. And they're going to take out a lot of probes. They're going to try and take these guys out, but I don't think that's going to happen. And meanwhile, the Swarm Host and the Stalkers have eked out a temporary stalemate. They've forced these players back. And it's just too painful for Team 2 to try and take out the Swarm Host at this time. So they've got to sit back. They're going to build up. They're going to get a large army up. They're going to get all their expansions set up. They're really, really lagging behind in the expansions at this point. They really got to just sit down and say, alright, we need to get some goddamn expansions. We need to get some economy going on. We need to build up massive armies. Then we just need to go in there and overwhelm them. And I mean, these guys, I don't know how they can play offensively. They're going to try and play offensively right now. And I'm not sure if it's going to be, I'm not sure if it's going to work. I mean, they've had the expansion advantage for a long time. So they've been basically getting the income, the same income that all 4 of these players have been getting, because there's 4 bases over here, 4 bases over there. And so they're going to try and push out, they're going to try and do some damage. I'm really not sure what they can do though. I mean, the other guys can just build up so much, so quickly. And yeah, it's I mean, the orange player is the only one building up forces. We've got a couple of green stuff here as well. But they're doing exactly what I said they should be doing. They're getting out, they're getting the expansions, they're building up their forces. It may be a mistake though, because the economy is already up for the blue player and for the red player, and they're just booming. Their army is absolutely booming. So they're going out there and they're going to do a push. And Team 2 has got to realise they're actually moving out. There's actually quite a large army out here. We need to get that army up nice and quick. So they've got to get out there, they've got to push the army up. They've got to try and overwhelm them, but it's going to be very, very hard because these guys just have such a large army. I mean, look at these guys. They're still recovering from the first attack where they took out these 2 guys, but these guys, they just built up crap loads. And I mean, I will say that these guys, they have a tactic, and their tactic is to sit back and get the economy up. And the downside of that tactic was that they let these 2 guys get wiped out. They had gone the same route as these guys, getting up a nice early decent force early in the game. They might have saved these guys. They didn't go for this tactic. Here we go. Nice flank. Very nice flank from our pink player with those siege tanks. He's sending in the forces. He's going a bit of in and out. The Swarm Host cannot defend both sides at the same time. They're going to move in. They might be in range. These guys might be in range of the siege tanks. These guys are going to move backwards. There we go. This Stalker's doing a very nice job of staying alive, keeping close to the Swarm Host, attacking in the same directions that the Locusts are attacking. So there we go. Good job from our blue Protoss player, Poker Face, Poker Dude, whatever. He's got Poker in his name. He's going to go in there and he's going to take out these siege tanks with a bit of blink micro there. Very nice job. This guy basically, he's just basically not, they can't get close to him. He's got so many Swarm Hosts, he cannot get close to them. The blue player though, he did very well, but he lost a lot of units there. I mean, a lot of units. He's down to 80 army. This is his army tab. I think this is army's tab. Yeah. So wait a second. Active forces. So he's 171. And if we have a look at the army, 170. Okay, so active forces including workers. So yeah, the blue player is in quite a bit of trouble. These guys are in a lot more trouble though. I mean, they were not prepared for Swarm Hosts. They had just killed 2 guys here. They were going to sit back, let these guys be on the defensive bench, and just build up their forces. But these guys, they were just building up. These guys were going for a 5-6 minute attack build. These guys were going for a 15-minute attack build. So they were pretty much almost useless. I will say the blue player still did pretty well, but the red player was useless when these guys were getting taken out. But yeah, as soon as the 10-15 minute mark came around and these guys came back, the red player started to get very useful at that point. He started to have the economy going on, and he just built a shitload of units, and then he went out there at the 15-minute mark, and these guys were just not prepared for a 15-minute timing attack. And it is possible that we are going to see these 2 top bases completely wiped out. The blue player trying to provide some interference, trying to take care of these guys. and stop these swarm hosts from being taken out, because right now these swarm hosts are they're the main factor in this game. The Swallokus are the guys taking this out. The blue player is doing a very good job, but make no mistake, the blue player is not the guy who's going to win this game. He's the guy who's making sure that these swarm hosts don't get wiped out by a bunch of blink stalkers. He's doing the damage, but mostly he's just making sure that these swarm hosts don't get wiped out. And I gotta say, I like this guy a lot more simply because he was in a position to defend these guys when they were getting attacked. I mean, fair enough, the red player is going to win the game, but I would always take a game where all of my allies survive. Even if I would not sacrifice allies to win the game in the long run. I mean, man, you probably get more XP from sacrificing your allies because you just have such a huge army, but I mean, what are you going to do? These guys pushing in is a good timing, but you can see the stalkers there, man. This guy, I love this guy. I love that blue Protoss, man. He was on the ball. He could see that coming down. I don't know if he had scouting there or not, but he could see that this was the red player's swarm host. The flank was completely open, so he went off there, and he went up there to try and head it off, and he was there in the nick of time. And now he knows the red player is going to be taking care of these forces, just holding them down. There we go, he just ran right past him. He's going to stim up, he's going to take out a lot of them. But as soon as the locusts pop back up, the locust timing, these guys are not going to be able to do anything. They're all going to be just completely wiped out. Here he goes, burrows, here comes the locust. And there we go, they're all going to get wiped out. Meanwhile, the blue player going in here, he's going to take advantage of the damage that the red player did before. He's going to go in there, he's going to do a lot of stuff. He is going to do a lot of stuff, he's going to do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the green player, he hasn't really engaged these locusts directly too much. He's getting some psi storms going on, but that's good, but he's mainly avoided the locusts. And that is not a sign of a piker who's just letting his opponents take the damage. That's a sign of a smart player, because it's not very smart play to go in there and directly attack locusts. It's just not a good idea. And there we go, green expansion over there. I'm not sure why he was trying to expand over there, but that didn't really work. These players are going to be completely gutted. They've really got nothing left. And here we go. This is Ted Style. That's the red player. So he's going to go in there. I'm not sure why he's putting a Nidus Worm down there, but, you know, why not? These guys just getting... dealing with the locusts is taking up all of their energy. They're going to try and stim up in between locust waves to go in there and snipe out the swarm hosts. But it's just not going to work. They cannot get all the way over there in enough time. It's just not going to work. We've got some psi storms coming down. It's going to do a very good job. There we go. But look at these guys. They just retreated there into the Nidus Worm, and they're going to come out here. I don't know whether it was a strategic retreat, whether he knew he was going to get taken out, but it was a good move nonetheless. These guys are going to run out there, use up a lot of energy, use up a lot of storms to push out, and they're going to find out that the swarm hosts have slipped away from them. So they're just going to jump back, and they're just going to be able to do nothing. This guy expanding to the gold, he may be a factor in about 5-10 minutes into this game, but he's not going to be a factor anytime soon. And meanwhile, the downside of this guy moving back is it's going to be a very slow push now to get back to where he needs to be, and that is attacking these guys' bases. He needs to take out this expansion and this expansion, and it's going to be a long time until he can do that. These guys trying to push up, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There we go. The Nidus Worm's coming down again. He's going to push down his swarm hosts. He's going to get them down here. What do we do? Just more lings coming out. We have a look at the army. We have a look at... Actually, we should have a look at the production there. And how are we doing for resources, actually? Some of these guys are going to be starved out soon. I mean, you can see the pink players having a lot of trouble. Blue player and the red player, they're doing pretty well as far as the economy is going. And, I mean, the yellow and the orange, their armies have just been wiped out. So it's just a unit level at the moment. How many units have they got? And, I mean, maxed out on Swarm Host, you can't really beat that. I mean, I don't know how to beat maxed out Swarm Host. We saw it in one game. The guy countered it with maxed out test. Oh, here we go. Storms all over the place. But you can see all those storms, man. They took the Swarm Host down to only half health, but he did get about half of them under the umbrella. So if he manages to get out and do that again, I would think that would be really good, but every attempt he makes to go in there, and the blue Protoss player, man, he is doing such a good job at keeping those swarm hosts alive, man. And the swarm hosts are doing all the damage, but the blue player, man, he's in with the timing right now. He knows when the swarm hosts are vulnerable, when the locusts have all been wiped out and they can move in. And he gets in there, and he just puts himself in the way so the swarm hosts don't get wiped out. Swarm hosts are going to go back in, they're going to retreat back up here. It's a good move once again to save those swarm hosts. So these players have got them push out. They had a small window there, they managed to get rid of all the stalkers, but they're just retreating again. And the green player and the pink player, they've just got to be so frustrated at the moment they're not able to wipe out these locusts. And meanwhile, where are they going now? They've got to be retreating. There they go. They're back here, so they're retreating. They've got a bit more of a defensive bent at the moment. He's going to go up here, and he's going to burrow. There we go. So that's a good burrow. He's just going to completely ward off this middle barrier. But this player, he might be able to escape down the south part of this gap. However, there are scouting overlords over there. He's trying to run back. He was trying to get this set up, maybe defend it, but if the red player finds out about this base, and yeah, he does. He just flew some overseers over the top. And there's something wrong with my mouse. Maybe, is it running out of batteries? No, there it goes. It was a bit slow there for a second. Maybe there's some dirt under there. There he goes. A whole bunch of overlords coming in. They are not going to be able to attack anything, but what they are going to do is just actually sit over the top of the base and just block blue player. Actually, this is a blue player, so I don't know what he's doing, but I'm about to say he could just sit on top and he could just completely hide everything. Why is my mouse not working? I have batteries. It's like halfway full. It's just not working. Damn it. Alright, I'm going to reset it, but that's alright. I'm still talking. It's all good. The mouse will not move, but I can move with the keyboard. Why is this damn thing not turning off? There we go. My mouse just turned off. I'm going to turn it back on again. This is like 6 months old. If this mouse is not going to work, there we go. It's on. It looks like it's working again. It was doing that funny jig thing where you move it off to the left and it just goes up instead. It's very, very annoying, but it looks like it's working again. It's like the swarm hosts, or at least some of them coming down here, is trying to make a push, but swarm hosts are just so slow, and we can expect the blue player to just be working on getting his army up. He's getting some upgrades. This is 2-2 coming up for his stalker force. I'd like to see him get some Colossus up as well, but he's been having a bit of trouble with his economy at the moment. He's trying to get a 4th base up now because he's mined out 2 so far. And here we go. Here is the attack of the century. My mouse is going funny again. Swarm hosts all over the place, and I like the use of the Nidus worms here. They're just going to wipe out the base here. All the production facilities for our green player just been completely annihilated. And there we go. This is the start of the end here. Meanwhile, this green player, the blue player, is going to go in here, and we do have a smiley face by the red player after he did that very nice attack. This could be excused, but I am going to say it is a potential tool comment here from our red player. We're going to let it pass for now. We are not going to label him as a tool, because that was a very good attack, and he probably does have some reason to smile about it, because, you know, it's definitely a really good attack. But still, I mean, modesty is the best policy, and he is not showing 100% modesty there. So there we go, in a slight danger of being a tool. So there we go, and he is going to go in there, and he is going to do a lot of attacks there. And there we go. This is an LOL from the blue player. I'm not sure what he is laughing about. If he is laughing about taking out the yellow player, then he is a tool, but I'm not sure if I think he's laughing about the red player going there and taking all these guys out. And yeah, so there, I'm not going to say the blue player is a tool, because he has done, you know, blink stalkers all game. He was there, he was trying to save these guys. It was a good play for him. I like that guy. I don't know, I can't really say that I like the red player that much. I mean, he's done a beautiful attack, he's done some very good stuff, but he left these guys to die at the start of the game, and that is the main reason why I do not like him. But he's done some very, very good tactics, man. It's a case of being a very good player, but, you know, not a not a super nice fellow sort of stuff. He is a nice fellow. I mean, he's a fairly good fellow. I can't say he's like, you know, absolutely horrible person or anything like that. He's definitely not a tool. We are definitely not saying that he is a tool, but he let those guys die at the start of the game, and I know I keep harping on about it, but that's just, it really annoys me when that happens to me in a game. It should be all for one and one for all and all that sort of stuff. So there we go, Locust coming back in, is going to defend this force, so he's going to take this force out anyway. And these siege tanks, man, they are sieging up in the wrong neighborhood. This is the wrong part of the town. This is not the boulevard where you can drive down safely. They are driving down the narrow alley, and you will get shanked if you drive down the narrow alley in this part of town. So there we go. He's going to run away. I cannot believe that the green player is hanging on in this game. He's doing a fantastic job. But he's lost his army now. He's working off 2 bases. If we have a look at the economy, he's still got a decent amount of workers left. So we'll have to see what he can do. A massive amount of drops here. Just keep getting chased away by this beautiful Blink Stalker force from the blue player. And here we go, War Pig. He knows he's beat. As soon as he sees those locusts attacking his base, he's got a GG. It's just the pink player left, but I expect him to GG very, very soon. He couldn't. There he goes. He's going to leave now. He didn't give a GG, but I mean, Swarm hosts going all over the place. That's going to be enough to piss anybody off. So I think we can probably forgive him for not GGing there. It was definitely provoked into not giving a GG there. And there we go, the blue player has left, the red player has not left yet. He is in it to take out the buildings. He definitely wants to take out the buildings, so I'm not sure why he's still playing this game, but there we go, he's left the game finally. He just wanted to savor that moment. And of course, savoring a moment when you're winning the game, definitely not a tool move. Of course, it's definitely not a tool move. I gotta say, good game. So we did have some awards to hand out at this game, and I am going to say that no player here is a tool. No player, I will say, is going to be receiving the most useless player. I do believe the red player deserves a prize for having the most useless army for the first 5 minutes of the game, first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, and also letting his mates die. So that is a we've got to think of a name for that award. That is the what are we going to do it? Let's just say the we'll go for. Oh, I can't think of an award. I can't think of a name for an award. We might call him Selfish Bastard. We might call him the oh, I don't know it. I can't think of a good name for that award. My imagination is just completely up the tool. But there we go. I think most useless army and letting your mates die, letting your mates down. The letting your mates down award. He receives that for his complete lack of any army at the start. You can, of course, get the most useless army for the first 5 minutes without getting the letting your mates down award, if your mates survive. But here, he got the first award, and that led him well on the way to getting the second award. Of course, we only give negative awards here. We do not give positive awards, because, really, I mean, every player goes out there and he does his best, and I gotta say, good stuff. Actually, yeah, I don't know. We can give the green player an award for some Psy Storm use and for sticking it out. Both these players, man, they get the sticking it out award, man. After the allies died, they kept it going for a very, very long time, man. And this blue player got the good support award. But I'm getting too many awards going down now. So anyway, we're going to keep going. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this 4v4 game. I really, really like 4v4 games a lot, and I'm going to keep casting them. So there we go. This has been Hairy Muppet, and I hope you enjoyed the awards segment at the end of the video. Thank you very much. I'll catch you guys later.